Hello. I think this needs to be moved a bit. Got it. Just a bit more. And we're good. Camera needs to be moved. Sorry. Cool. Hello.
Everything's great. I just need to mute one thing super. I just need to mute this one. There you go.
All right. And we're back again today. So welcome back to our stream for Terrarium. Again, I'll be doing more design stuff for the game. So like last week, we did a lot of, what did we do last week? Right here, 3D Paint 2. So last week we did a bunch of plants that are very bright and colorful. And yes, hello. So this is basically what we had last week. Super colorful, super bright. I was asked to tone down the neon a bit. So this week we're gonna approach more creature design, but less neon, if that makes sense. So over here I've been working on just a few. So again, we're using references we pulled from different assets. And hold on, from different assets, just so hold on, let me see, why can't I not click on this? Oh, there we go, it's working. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right, so I have a bunch of assets, and we're gonna use these assets to basically create some creatures. I think the challenge here is to make the creature look like it has a character, but at the same time keeping in mind the 3D modeler, they have to be able to create the creature to a certain extent, so you don't want to make it too complex. Again, here I started off with kind of like a golem, a forest golem, that looks like a granny at the top here, with the granny hat and the those like puffy jacket granny wears. I mean, it looks nice, so that's that. Over here we have basically a wolf with a tree growing on the back. And again, like, I think the color looks nice, but the shape is kind of missing like a character. Over here we have basically I call this polar bear in denial. Basically it's like a polar bear in the wrong game, but trying to blend in. So it doesn't want to be called a polar bear, so it disguised himself or herself as with leaves and a log, basically as a plant. And this one I'm working on is just, honestly, I'm having fun with these. These are basically the chef goblin. So if you ever watched what's the show called, Kitchen Hell, from Gordon Ramsay, you'll know that these are like that's my inspiration for this. So the goblin wants to be a chef. But we have to keep in mind our theme, which is a lot to do with plants. So going back to this page, I'm gonna grab more assets to build our creature. I think it's these creatures are very humanoid, so in a sense they have like arms, legs, and head. So it's a bit hard to visualize how it looks like as a plant creature. I think that's the tricky part here, but let's see what our imagination takes us today. Hopefully somewhere good. I mean, I'm actually pretty stuck on some character design. So this will be a good challenge. So over here I'm using the warp tool to basically cover the goblin in the right perspective. So when I dropped in my leaf, it doesn't look like it's in the right perspective. So I gotta like fix it by adding perspective to it. No, that would go underneath the goblin, kind of like that. And then I will edit, transform, and warp. So again, basically it's really simple. It's like wrapping your mesh to the 2D image. Nope. Hey, where am I? Oh. Cool. And I just want to change the leaf into another color. Just because I don't really like the green on green. I think somewhere to where it's like a red color. That looks pretty nice. To match like the hat he's wearing. Would be perfect. Kind of like that. But now it still looks kind of like a goblin. It doesn't look like a plant creature. So what I'm gonna do is actually just add in some color for the goblin. So I'm using a gradient tool, and I'm gonna color pick the mushroom and lightly, super lightly, 20% opacity, go over the face of the goblin, just so everything blends in. Okay, it's not really showing. I'm gonna go 50%. Gotta go insane now. Kind of like that. Okay, now at this point it's pretty bad, not gonna lie. It looks like a really bad Photoshop mushroom on top of the goblin. So I'm gonna actually blend it together and see how that works. So right now I have, whoops, what is going on? So right now I just have basically a brush with a mask, and I'm gonna gently blend the mushroom into the image. Just dab on the mushroom. Just really tiny bit of blending, and at that point it should give us somewhat of a closer image to like a more unified image. I'm just gonna get rid of this one. We don't need that. Same thing over here, we don't need that part. Gonna get rid of that, and same thing over here. Cool. I think the mushroom could also use some color blending, so then everything fits well together. I'm at the wrong. There we go. Oops. There. That look kind of weird. Yes, mask is being used. Thanks to your advice last time, so it is now not being erased completely. So we have our mask. I know, right? Photoshop is wonderful. So again, I don't know. I think I kind of like how the shape is going. It's like interesting. It's like weird, kind of interesting. Like the goblin is, in a sense, like in a funny shape. If you change it to a silhouette, if you basically change the whole image to a black silhouette, it'll look pretty interesting. But I feel like we could add a bit more, just a tiny bit more, just to like spice the whole creature up. Let's see. We have that. Okay, maybe we can have a flower growing on top of the mushroom. Again, these are like super random in a sense. Just to like give the creature some signature, we want to have like a kind of like something to recognize the creature with. For that one, the branches, I guess. Yeah, most of these I'm not really satisfied with it, just because it doesn't have like a lot of things to like associate with the character. I mean, here you have like a giant log. I guess that's something. But to me, I feel like I could do better. Don't give up here. You could honestly do a lot better. Cool. Just want to merge the two layers so I can change the hue. And I like the blue. I like the blue flower. The pink is too I guess warm compared to the palette of the mushroom. So we want like cold, warm, and then cold again. Not all the time, but yeah. And with that, I'm just gonna group and call it creature 4. And now I can Command J, merge the group, and work some magic into post effects. Post processing, that's the term. So, gonna try changing the creature into a more alien-like creature. Kind of like this. Again, I'm trying to like move away from the super neon color. it looks nice. But yeah, I want to try to stay away from it and do a more, I guess, different color scheme, different mood. Over here I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to basically pick up some colors here. Gonna drag it like that, and I want some blue, light blue. Gonna do some here. Now I'm gonna create a clipping mask. That way our colors will be able to blend into each other like that more effectively. To create a more, I guess, harmonized palette, if that makes sense. I could like add more glow to it, like if I really wanted to, I would add something like that, and it would be more like blue orange in a sense. And if you compare it to the original, you'll notice how sharp, like how much contrast the original has compared to this one, whereas this one is more pastel. Not pastel, yeah, I guess more pastel theme. Like just everything is kind of washed with a layer of white. And again, we can add all sorts of color to make it more awesome. Like we can have red. Well, let's try red here. Whoops. Create clipping mask. That's what you need. And just like that, we have a more harmonized color. So all the colors aren't like separate by green and then immediately red. So it's like blending into, from orange blending slowly to purple, pink to blue. I can try different things. That one looks pretty cool. I like that. Cool. And we merge down. And now I just want to test out a bit more color. So I'm actually gonna hide the original because I don't really like the original colors. So gonna go here and change the color palette from here. I think green and pink kind of work too. Or the other way around, orange and blue. Pink, mushroom and blue. No, I like the other one. Where was it? Oh, I missed it. Where was it? It was green, mushroom top with purple. Kind of like that. And we just want to give up the saturation slightly with the color scheme. And now we have, yeah, it's super super dreamy. Like you just feel like you're gonna dive into this world and forget about ever stop playing Terrarium. So if you play this game, you'll just be like, I want to stay inside this game forever. I guess that's like the idea behind it. I mean, it would be cool. It'd be like playing other games where you just don't want to stop playing the game because it's so good. So again, I'm gonna group the creature 4 here. Creature 4. And just like that, we have ourselves not so organized. Let me move these. There. A character sheet, or creature sheet. Yeah, I think it's fairly different from what we had last time. With the color palette, this one is super neon, super colorful and bright, which is good in its own way. Over here we have a more pastel looking color palette, again like vaporwave, yeah. So just really washed down kind of color, which I also like. I think we can push for more characters. So why don't we create a new new canvas, and we're gonna start with more characters. Hopefully this time we can come up with some characters that are more fun at the same time, but also goofy and scary. Scary is priority. Whoops. Copy. Alright, we found our victim right here. A armless rabbit creature. What can we do with this guy? I feel like this creature can have like an armored rock body with like different moss or like different overgrowing plants on top of it. Again, we have to keep in mind when we design this that everything has to be good for the modeler. If we have something going into the creature, it would be difficult, I was told, to actually implement. So over here I am trying my best to, whoa, nope, that is horrible. Right here I'm trying my best to basically make it less troublesome for the 3D modeler, which again I don't think I'm making it any easier by doing this, but I mean, let's have some fun first before we restrain ourselves from having too much fun. So let's do that. Perfect. And I want some color on this guy, so one trick I can do is, if there is white or no color or black and you can't seem to change the hue, what you can do is create a clipping mask, and you just want to maybe eyedrop some of the colors from this guy, and there we go, and we're done, just like that. And yeah, and then we can, again, I merged down, but you don't have to. And I'm gonna paste again. I'm gonna take the last 4 rock, delete. And I'm just going to flip it this way. Nope, this way. There we go. Yeah. And I'm just gonna align it like this. The perspective at this point doesn't have to be fully correct. I mean, it's the concept that matters the most, so you should put that first. Over here, kind of like that. Good enough. And I'm just gonna do the same thing. Create a clipping mask. Pull some colors down. Pull some red. Change to blending mode. Kind of like this. And merge down. Now we have our rocky animal-ish. What else can we add? Oh man, we should have added the these rocks here. Those would fit perfectly. We need something plant-like. Again, I'm gonna draw from having these come out. So kind of like a coat. Oops. On top of the creature. Kind of like that. And I'm gonna Command J again. Put it underneath the rock. At this point, I think they kind of look like wings. I kind of like it. I mean, I don't know if they're coming out of the creature or they're just like a coat. Guess we can see. It's kind of like a replacement for the arm of the creature. So let me just copy. Cool, and again, do the same thing here. There we go. Oh. Looks like a really cool creature, but I don't know how doable it is. I mean, let's add one more thing. I think we can give this little fellow a cactus hat. Because why not? I feel like why not? Kind of like that. No, that's a bit too small. It has to be like a gigantic hat. Kind of like that. Maybe a bit smaller. Like that. Just so we have a nicer quality of the image. And again, I'm just gonna use the mask and change it. Oh man. Okay, let's see if I can make a... So I can control click on the image to select the pixels. And over here on the mask, I can just fill in whichever pixel I want to fill in. And it's a really cool trick. So I can make it look like it's actually behind one of the ears, but not the other one. And deselect. Just like that. Whoops. Cool. And over here we have... Actually the hat is, I think, blocking one of the... yes, it is. It is blocking one of the stone... pointy stone thing on its head. There we go. Just want to change the color a bit of the cactus. Maybe pink, just because we don't want to have too many colors going on. We have a hue, basically a different shade of red with green. So I'm going to merge these two layers. Merge these layers. Actually, I think I'm going to merge. Whoops, not all of them. Cool. So first I want to change the color of the back of the leaves. I'll make it maybe blue, cyan. And then I'm going to change the leaf in the foreground, which will be kind of bluish. It's like a blue-green blue. Same with these leaves, blue-green, just so it's easier on the eye with the red. And as for the cactus, let's keep it. I think maybe we can make the cactus glow. A cool trick to make a glowing object is to use color dodge, I think. First you have to pick the same color first. Just go over it with your gradient tool, over it a few times. And I believe color dodge would do it. Yeah. It looks a bit weird, not gonna lie. let's not use color dodge. That could work, but then we have to really lower the... I kind of like it. Okay, let's stick with it first, and then we'll see what happens. I think it's missing some kind of like a line to, not a line, something like an object to fill the seam of the cactus hat. I mean, I really like it, so I really want to keep the hat, but we have to make it work with our rabbit, or not rabbit, our creature. I think that would do, just like that. And there we go, we have our creature, a little happy hat. Both of them are happy, so well, they're the same guy. But yeah, so over here I'm actually gonna make the creature, it is glowing, so I'm actually gonna make the creature a lot happier. So at this point I think it's almost creepy. Let me apply the liquefied thing. It's super happy right now, but I feel like it's a really scary kind of happy. Like he has a lot going on in his mind, and you just don't want to know what's going on. Yeah, I think that kind of really gives it a, I guess, scary vibe. And just like that, we're going to merge our layers and call it creature 5. Command J, merge the group, and then I can now play around with the colors. Well, I think that looks pretty cool. We want to have the red a bit more red. Oops, the leaves are green. Actually, they were cyan. Kind of like that. So, whoops, totally forgot about the edge of the canvas, so we can fix that easily. Just by erasing some of it. Just gently get a soft brush and dab on the edge of it with a 20% opacity, and you can probably get yourself back. Dab is the way to fix everything. Actually, they're not, but I was just saying it. Most of the time, don't take my advice on social life, because I don't think I'm the guy to go for social advice. So try not to take anything serious for that. Dabbing does not fix everything, no. Don't, when a client yells at you, don't dab in front of them. It does not solve that. So yeah, so you have the creature, merging them. Exactly. Meaning none of it. Not the social advice, at least. Oh, yellow, orange, and blue looks pretty good. Another cool trick to get rid of the darker color, also with, whoops, just like the darker color, is to add something called a gradient map. A lot of people actually use it for their painting when they want to change black and white to a color image. So it basically maps your darker color to the brighter color. Like it matches a color to the darker shade with the lightest color. Can I not preview this? Okay. So we had a orange light, kind of like that, with our blue. Kind of like that. And we want another color in between just to really give it a just like a really more detail or more flavor to the color palette. And just like that, we have our gradient map, that's what it's called. And we can change the blending mode to get a really cool result at times. Doesn't work all the time. I like the other one, lighter color. Overlay. I think overlay kind of really subtly make the image look more appealing. Again, forgot to have a darker gray background. There we go. Oh shoot, the tabbing didn't work. So let's go back and actually fix it. I think that's pretty good. Same for this one. Just gently dab on the highlights. And you'll have something pretty good. So a creature with a cactus hat who is smiling about something we don't want to know. That is our creature name. It's a long name. Yes, we need to let everyone know. No dabbing, please. Let's scale this down a bit. I want to include one more color and see how it looks. Oh, purple and green. That looks pretty good. I guess one trick you can use is just to nope. No. Cool. I'm gonna name this creature 5, and I think we can do one more with the time we have. So let's save this file as a 3D creature 2. Cool. Let's have one more creature. Kind of like this one. But I also want to challenge myself. Okay, let's try this one. I think with the time we have, we can try something a bit more straightforward. Like this one. Cool. Just gonna copy and paste it down. And we have our scary plant. Super scary. Just wanna scale this a bit. With this one, I think I might add a lot more tree looking kind of thing. Again, I don't know how, we have to think about how the creature would actually be modeled 3D and how it would move. So something exterior that doesn't even attach to the creature might help make it easier. So I'm actually gonna grab the these off of it and possibly make like a gigantic, kind of like a boss around it. I'm gonna mask it and basically make it look like the plant drove its root, or like the that thingy into the ground, so then it can pull back up again as a giant, kind of like a tentacle that would basically attack any players. So that's that. And I want to change the color of our plant to match our gigantic killer. There we go. I feel like this design is a bit more like typical, something you will see like in other games too, like other games that revolve around plants. You might see something like this. That's like very often, I think. I mean, sometimes it's good to have something relatable that players might be able to recognize from all the other games they've played before. Maybe that's what you want to do. I mean, if you're a fan of that, it's your life, right? So who am I to say? Go for it. Design something that would be mainstream and also fun. Like, after all, the purpose of a game is just to have fun. So the design would automatically be less of a deal if your game is like super fun. So the graphics don't come first, but if it's fun, that's the question. I feel like we can make this our own creature. Like, if we add something that just seems kind of ridiculous, then it could be our own creature. Kind of like that. Like an orange. People would ask why, and you don't always have to give everyone an answer. when they ask why is there an orange on top of the plant, you just say because nature, Mother Nature, that's why. Mother Nature somehow always have something unexpected, and that's what we can say. Just like that. We want to blend in our grass with the plant. So, well, I guess the plant itself kind of looks like a pear now, or some kind of fruit with the leaf on top, which I think kind of looks silly. So we can change the color of the fruit. I think blue would make it look pretty nice, kind of like blueberries. Actually, I think I might just make it blueberries, like a bunch of them. Like we have the bigger details and then now the smaller details. And yeah, just like that. And let's merge the layers. And I'm gonna call this Creature 6. Again, I think this one is a bit more straightforward. It's really simple with a touch of, I guess, goofiness. We can Command J, merge the group, send it somewhere else, send it over here, expand our canvas just because we need more space, and fill our background with, there we go, and now we can change our plant. Again, I think having another color would really make it look scary. I think red looks pretty good. Again, we don't have to like always stick with one color. We can add in another, like blue, right? We can have a blue, kind of like that. Actually, you don't want to do it on the one layer you have. Add an extra layer. Do clipping mask. You want to just divide this part first. Just like that. There we go. Same over here. Lasso tool is your friend. Blue. And we're back. Alright. Gonna merge down again. So Now we can really change the color of these guys. And again, we can have like different patterns to really make it look more, guess, out of this world. Like we can have polka dots. I don't know how many people actually like polka dot. I know like I know there's a recent art gallery with the artist who's famous for having a lot of patterns done. I forgot her name. Yes, that is her. That's her name. Yeah, I forgot about it. I didn't go too bad. Like I heard the tickets were kind of like hard to get. I could be wrong, but I didn't try like really looking. But my friend went and they took pictures and it looked really good. Like a lot of it was really like for just for photos. It looked really good on photos, so uh, maybe that's what's her art like, what her art piece is about. So polka dot, no polka dot. I think polka dot really adds the poison feeling. Like if you ever see something like that in the wild, it would kind of indicate like like a don't touch me kind of feeling. And that looks pretty good. I think that kind of matches with our funny rabbit up above. That looks really like scary. That color, green and purple, always works with poisonous plants. And we have that. Make it less vibrant. We can also like duplicate the same layer, change the color slightly, up the hue, up the saturation, up the brightness. And we can now change the blending mode to make it look more, yes, different. Cool. So I guess at this point we have two creature with our other creatures. Whoa. I think I'm reverting back to the more neon color scheme. Whereas this one, it was more pastel. This one is slightly more neon. Not neon, it's got a lot of colors going. But anyway, I think we can still tweak it a bit more and see where that takes us. An effect that I think a trick that a lot of people use is kind of like a blur tool. That really like gets rid of the detail. So then I'll show you what I mean. It's like you blur the image that you duplicated, and basically you blend it with soft light or overlay, my bad. And it would look like it's glowing softly. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but that looks like it's glowing. Art light also looks like it's glowing. Yeah, I think like just playing around with different stuff Wow. That's horrifying. It looks like it's really happy with its life. With the glowing effects like that. Try on this one as well. Same effect. I'm gonna tone down a bit. I mean, now it looks like they're really happy just being evil plants on their own. Yeah, I think with that, we'll conclude today's stream. We've done basically 3 creatures with a more pastel or not as neon color palette as our plants, but still kind of tied to the whole really colorful and fun and weird kind of theme going on here, like goofy, like these are just funny, right? Yeah, and that's our basically our creature creation from 3D modeling, not 3D modeling, 3D images to from creature design. So yeah, if you enjoy the process of Terrarium, stay tuned for the next stream and we'll be back for more content. Thanks for watching.